Assalamualaikum and good morning to all lecturers. Today we from group 2A want to present about manufacturing practice. My part is milling machine. So introduction for milling machine is milling is the process of machining flat, curved or irregular surface by feeding the workpiece against a rotating cutter containing a number of cutting edge. The milling machine consists basically of a motor-driven spindle which mount and revolves the milling cutter and reciprocating adjustable worktable which mount and feed the workpiece. Okay, the next is history of milling. As you can see here, milling machine were originally developed the speed up handling. They first appeared in the early 1800 years ago, although it is difficult to trace the exact history due to the fact that there was a lot of development going in a small shop at the time. The 1840 years ago brought the creation of a few popular designs. The next is principle of milling process. The basic of direction have two, up milling and down milling. So there's a diagram on the slide. As you can see, up milling and down milling. So comparison between up milling and down milling. For up milling, direction of feeding of workpiece and direction of rotating cutter will be opposite. And down milling, direction of feeding of workpiece and direction of rotating cutter will be the same. Job opportunity in milling. So basically, what career can you involve in milling job? So as you can see here, nowadays almost all industry use this machine in their own company. So there's a lot of machine milling. So the job you can involve in is mill operator or machinist. The job duties for mill operator is working to operate and maintaining a milling machine.
Assalamualaikum, saya Nurdiana binti Abdul Rahman. So, saya akan present mengenai welding. So, what is welding? Welding is the process of two pieces of metal can be joined together by heat, pressure and both forming. So, welding is usually used on the metal and thermoplastic, but it also can be used on the wood. So, type of the welding, we have 5 types of the welding, such as gas welding, arc welding and solid stick welding. Then, I introduce the tools of the arc welding, which is we have shaping hammer, wire brush, we have face shape, we have apron, we have glove, and we have the apparatus at the workplace. This is the history of the welding. So this is a welding in 19th until 20th centuries. So during the Industrial Revolution, arc welding between two carbon electrodes using a battery is credited to Sir Humphrey Davy in 1800. So this is the picture of Sir Humphrey Davy. So Russian created the stable electric arc, which is enabled to melt metal. This discovery led to invention of the electric generator, gas welding, cutting and more stable arc welding in the middle of 19th century. Then, during the middle of the century, they found the welding can be used in the underwater, such as at the offshore. Technology advanced to arc welding application in the late 1970s and early 1980s, such as computer, advanced communication technology, and the ability of welding industry to exchange information, perform advanced modeling in the world. So, the impact of the welding industry. Welding is component of many industries such as automotive industry, construction, welder and more. Without this form of metalwork, so many things include many building, gates, construction and even space travel will not be exist. So 70% of manufacturing products are made with the skill of welder. So this is two examples for job occupied in the welding. First, we have a welder. Second, we have the welding inspector. So the scope of job of the welder is cutting material into the shape, checking dimension in thickness. It also working working on a construction site or in a workshop. So for the welding inspector, educate staff and welder in safety and assemble produce and requirement, inspect weldment to determine if they meet SOP and material standard for the job. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name Nur Azmina binti Muhammad Razi. Explain about lead machine. First, for introduction, the machine to that sounds to remove unwanted matter from the workpiece to give the desired shape and size to so-called lead machine. So lead machine is also known as center lead because of two center between which the joke can be held and rotated. So in the mechanical engineering field, lead machine plays an important role in manufacturing. A lead is a machine tool which is used to remove unwanted metal. Lead machine is one of the most important machine tool which is used for metalworking industry. Principle of lead machine. The lead machine is machine tool which hold the workpiece between two rigid and strong support. Four centers or in a chuck of face plate which revolve. The cutting tool is rigidly held and supported in a two post which is fed feet against the revolving work. The history, the lead is an ancient tool. The earliest evidence of lead dates back to ancient Egypt around 1300. During the Warring States period in China, 400 BC, the ancient Chinese used rotary blades to sharpen tool and weapon on an industrial scale. During Maudslay, who later developed many improvements to the lead work at the Royal Arsenal. For example, lead and the reason screw, also known as power screw or translation screw, is a screw used a linkage in a machine to translate turning motion into linear motion. Because of the large area of sliding contact between their male and female members, screw thread have larger friction energy losses compared to other linkage.
So next is the fabrication. So the fabrication involves the assembly of standard or specialized part to form part of product to be used in the manufacture for the finished pieces. So they are required on construction project of all sizes to do anything from fixing machinery to building bridge. So what are the type of the fabrication? First, cutting, punching, forming, shearing and stamping. So next.
So the next is history fabrication. Historical revelation, first society of the people to employ metal fabrication. That metal fabrication has indeed been going strong for at least 7,000 years up to and including the present. Metal tools and weapons uncovered in South Serbia in Europe from eons ago clearly indicate items that were fabricated by a select few who somehow understood the process involved to manipulate metal to change it into different form. The product of other common types: first, metal working; second, machining; third, metal stamping; fourth, for mortgaging; and lastly, casting. Method of fabrication, there are few. The number one is cutting, punching, forging, shearing, and stamping.
Next tool for fabrication. First, scriber used for performance lines on workpieces, dividers, hand riveter, punches, pillars, snips, squares. So example and reason. First, construction. Most architects and engineers prefer using steel and fabricated steel products. Metal fabrication produce various steel sections such as steel beams, girders, ladders, handrail, and platforms which are used to create the basic structure for buildings, bridge, warehouse, and all kinds of mega structures. At present, it is nearly impossible to imagine the construction industry without metal fabrication.
So that's all from our group. Thank you.